I held him to around a minute, and I was feeling tired already, but he was still alive, but I was feeling tired. So I told my associate, that is the victim's friend, to hold him, to continue the choking, to hold him. So when he did, and the guy, we noticed that the guy is quiet already, which he was confirmed dead. So we...
That was a confessional statement from the suspect that took the life of this 17-year-old boy you are seeing on your screen right now. His names were Thompson Adams Omokafe. He just passed the JAMB exam with over 200 marks, and he was waiting to be admitted into the university before this tragedy befell him. The suspects are Elijah Emmanuel and Anthony Ogenata. Elijah is a 23-year-old boy that lives around the Ikorodu area of Lagos State, and Anthony is a 21-year-old boy that lives around Ibrahim Adisa area of the same Lagos State. Please follow this video to the end. It will definitely make you not to trust too much, but especially if you and the person are not seeing regularly or communicating regularly. Coupled with the fact that even if you think that this person was a nice person in the past, that doesn't mean that presently he or she is still a nice person. Please always put that in mind. The very sad incident happened on Wednesday, the 29th of April 2026 at Ibrahim Adisa area of Lagos State, that's southwestern part of Nigeria. One of the suspects, whose name is Elijah Emmanuel, and the victim knew each other way back in their primary school days. Both of them attended the same primary school but got separated when they got admission into their different secondary schools. That was how they lost contact with each other, and that lasted for a very, very long time, until like 3 years ago, somehow, some way they reconnected and started talking and chatting on phone again. While they were doing all that, Elijah started inviting Thompson to come over to visit him, while Thompson had always declined that invitation on the ground that the other sister he was staying with does not give him the chance or permission to go out. Elijah kept on insisting on it, while Thompson kept on posting him saying today, tomorrow, until on the 28th of April 2026. That was when he eventually made up his mind to visit his friend for the very first time. He then told his elder sister and his mom that he was going to visit his old-time friend, and the mom, being that she already knew Elijah back then during their primary school days, she then gave him the permission to go. The following day was Wednesday, the 29th of April 2026. He left home at about 2 p.m. and met up with Elijah at about 3:30 p.m. Elijah then took him to his friend's house at Ibrahim Adisa area of Lagos State and claimed to be the owner of the house. While they were in the sitting room discussing, so suddenly another guy came in whose name is Anthony, quickly heard him, and Elijah joined him, and both of them tied his mouth with the cloth and both legs with the chain and the padlock, at the same time taking pictures. And they also raised the volume of the music that was playing to the highest level so that nobody could hear him scream for help. It was at that point they told him that he has been kidnapped, and if he cooperates with them, they will let him go. On second thought, his friend Elijah told his associate Anthony that they should take his life, because if they eventually let him go after collecting ransom or not, the father, being a military man, would definitely come looking for them. And Anthony considered that as a reasonable idea. That was how both of them unalived this young boy of 17 years old. After taking his life, that same day they went to buy Ghana must go back, and they forced the corpse inside it and went to dump it in a canal that is not too far from their house. While all of that were going on, the victim's family members were already worried that their son was still not back, and they started calling the line. They actually called the lines multiple times and nobody picked up until the suspect got home from where they went to dump the corpse, and they picked the call for the very first time. They told the family that their son has been kidnapped, and they demanded a ransom of 150 million naira immediately. Before the victim's family started negotiating that amount with them, they pleaded to speak with their son first, but they refused. But being that they already had some of his pictures taken before he was murdered, they started sending those pictures to them for them to believe that their son was actually kidnapped. They also told them that their son has been taken to Bayelsa State, that is another state in the southern part of Nigeria. The family, upon seeing their son being tied up in those pictures, they started negotiating that amount with them. At the same time, they reported the matter at the police station and also to anti-kidnapping squad. At the long run, they were able to negotiate the money down to 5 million naira, and the suspects sent an access bank account to them to pay up that money. They could not, because they were unable to raise that money at that particular time. The suspect later told them that while they are looking for the money, they should send 200,000 naira to be feeding him until they are able to raise the 5 million naira. He later sent a POS account to them to send that money, which they actually did. While all that were going on, the anti-kidnapping squad were trailing the suspect and monitoring the conversation and transaction between both parties until they apprehended the first suspect, Elijah. It was Elijah that took them to the Ikorodu area of Lagos State, where they apprehended the second suspect, Anthony. When they got to the station during the course of the interrogation, they confessed committing the crime and also admitted murdering the girl sometime in November 2025 and collected a ransom of 300,000 naira, and later dumped the corpse in another compound close to their own. You won't believe that the owner of that compound, that corpse implicated the owner of that compound. And as I speak right now, the owner of that house is in jail, awaiting trial over the incident and over what he knows nothing about. With this story, you definitely understand the level in which some of our youths have gotten to. These suspects, they are just 21 and 23. They've already murdered 2 different people. During their confessions, they claim to be from poor families, and they have vowed to make so much money to help their families. You only want to wonder, why are they choosing the option of making such money at the expense of other people's lives? That tells you that the society has made them believe that kidnapping is cheap and it's an easy thing to do. That is why they are even doing it unprepared and unequipped. From the story, it shows that they don't even have guns. They are just making use of what is available to them at home. Anyways, guys, tell us your opinion in the comment section, and don't forget to like and share. See you next time.